Hi everyone, and welcome to this May 30th, 2016 update of Dominari. Today I want to share with you a new game concept we've added called home zones. And home zones are basically a response to a problem that we've seen in gameplay where both players having equal fighters, let's say both players have 500, one would send a couple of different fleets into the back of someone's base, and there was just no way to defend that. And so home zones was born out of the idea of how can we make it a little bit easier to defend when you've got all your troops in the center. So if you've seen the other game videos that I've made, particularly the one against the level 6 AI, grabbing the center is important, and a lot of your fighters end up here around the center, which means that the back of your base is very vulnerable. What we've seen in practice, particularly in the multiplayer games, is that one player will use a hyper to be able to travel further and a ludicrous to travel really fast, and at level 3 it truly is ludicrous to travel really fast to the back of someone's base. Well, if all your troops are here in the center and this guy's using ludicrous to get to your back of your base, you often can't get there in time to defend, and it can be game ending. Even though you have equal troops, even though you have say equal levels in abilities, it can end the game instantly, and honestly it just wasn't very much fun. So enter the concept of home zones. Normally, when you expand here, you see we've got this kind of slow pace going on. What home zones add is the ability to travel faster between planets that you own within the zone. So we'll see here this travel takes quite a while, but this one goes very, very quickly. In fact, we can get one back and forth in the same amount of time that it took for that one. These guys are traveling at 2x speed. So what this means, for example, is let's say the enemy managed to get something out here and he sends something to the back of your base. You're able to get there much faster and defend it. Now another cool thing that happens is you can see that I can be a little bit optimized in how I send these guys. Instead of just going straight to here to expand, instead what I can do is bring these guys as close as possible using this speedy travel between planets before taking over. One other thing that I will show here, let's get a couple of fighters here. Let's get an ODS.
ODS online.
And let's, that should do. So do this. So as I mentioned, the travel is between planets that you own that are within the zone, and this also applies to sending fighters back into the zone from outside. So if you imagine for a moment, and we'll do better than imagine, we'll actually put a bunch of fighters out here. But in a typical game, again, you'll be moving your troops more towards the center. So let's suppose I have this situation where I've got a lot of fighters out here and a lot of fighters out here, and suddenly he's sent a whole bunch of fighters to the back of my base using the hyper travel and the ludicrous speed. I need to get troops back there in a hurry. Well, naturally I'll take as much as I can and send them, but that's not going to be enough. But what I can do is send these guys back in, and because this planet is within the zone, it travels much, much faster, and I should be able to get back just in time to defend that planet. In fact, he may be fighting right now, and the second wave will come there to help out. And so that's home zones. Now in practice, it's actually been working out really, really well. We've had several games where both players have sent fighters into the back of the bases, and troops were able to rally, hold it off, which should be expected if you're playing an otherwise equal game. Both players were able to get to the back of their bases, defend, hold off the attack, and then continue the game, making the game last a little bit longer and, of course, significantly more fun. So would love to have your ideas on other things that you think the home zones could do. Right now it's a passive ability that just affects the player that within that zone. We've talked about other ideas like having negative effects applied to the enemy if they should travel into the zone, or even a concept of stances where you could have maybe 3 different abilities applied to a zone and you choose which one is applied at that time. For example, one ability could be travel faster between planets. Another ability could be a production boost for all of the planets within the zone. So if you have any other ideas, we'd love to hear them. Go ahead and come on into the subreddit and share your ideas. Thanks.